This evening, we begin with the security matters, where the United States has resumed intelligence and surveillance operations over Nigeria's Sambisa forest following recent airstrikes targeting ISIS-linked militants in Sokoto state. A flight tracking data on Saturday showed a U.S.-operated aircraft conducting reconnaissance missions over Borno state, a known stronghold of insurgent groups. The aircraft, identified as a modified Gulfstream V, commonly used for intelligence, surveillance and fact-finding. This is believed to be monitoring activities of Islamic State West Africa province operating in the northeast and Lake Chad region. Now, surveillance flights had paused briefly after the Sokoto strike before restarting. Records indicate the mission began in late November with aircraft operating out of Ghana, a regional logistics hub for the United States forces. The renewed operations come amid heightened security cooperation between Washington and Abuja and follow warnings of a continued military action against militant groups in Nigeria. In the meantime, the African Democratic Congress says the airstrike carried out by the United States Africa Command in Sokoto state on Friday highlighted what it describes as a historic incompetence of the administration of President Bola Tinubu. The United States launched a series of airstrikes on ISIS terrorists in Sokoto in the early hours of Friday. In a statement, the ADC National Publicity Secretary Bolaji Abdullahi said the opposition party supports lawful efforts to protect Nigerians, but blamed governance failures for the foreign military operations on Nigerian soil. Abdullahi also warned that permitting external forces to conduct direct military operations in a country is unsustainable and could undermine Nigeria's long-term strategic interests. Now, to discuss this further, we are joined by a security consultant, Dixon Osaji. Dixon, you're welcome.
Thank you for having me. Good evening.
Yeah, Dixon, now the United States has resumed intelligence and surveillance operations over Nigeria's Sambisa forest following recent airstrikes targeting ISIS-linked militants in Sokoto state. Your thoughts on this, please?
Well, for me, 2 days ago was a day we received the Tomahawk in our territorial space, and as of today, intelligence coming stated very clearly that the United States are conducting surveillance. Because before any mission or before any attack against your enemy, there's what we call hostile surveillance. I think what they are doing presently is hostile surveillance to ascertain the strength of these guys, to ascertain their location, to ascertain their capability and capacity to ensure that if they want to strike, they strike them and decimate them from their effective zone. So I think they are carrying out a pre-attack surveillance activities, and this activities is also known as hostile surveillance. I surely believe that at the end of this hostile surveillance, they'll be able to send some deliverables to the enemy's then, so that they'll be able to wipe these guys from the Sambisa forest.
Now, President Trump specifically framed these airstrikes as protection for primary innocent Christians. In a country where 7,000 Christians were killed in the first 7 months of 2025 alone, is he addressing a reality, or is he dangerously oversimplifying a conflict that has historically claimed just as many Muslim lives in the north?
Well, I would not put words into Donald Trump's mouth, but I strongly believe that we've been suffering from Christian genocide in Nigeria, and that is just the truth. Nobody's going to argue about that. And I also believe that the Muslims are being killed. And if you want to ask, who are the people killing the Muslims? They are the Islamic, Islamic terrorists, the radicalized Islamic terrorists, and also first of all, in 2014, I remember the founder of Boko Haram, Sheikh, went live on air and says that if you see them, kill the infidels, kill the unbelievers, kill the Christians, And the foundation of Boko Haram was that Western education is sane. So as time progresses, it metamorphosed into, economic terrorism, whereby these guys started kidnapping Nigerians for ransom, and as well, going off their, foundation or their objective. Every organization has its mission and vision. And if anyone comes on air and says that the objective of Boko Haram is not to Islamize Nigeria, I don't know if they are the spokesperson or if that person is the spokesperson for Boko Haram. But I strongly believe that Donald Trump himself have carried out an assessment of the killings in Nigerians, It's still a lot of killings going on, but he's particularly concerned about the killings of Christians, maybe because that is his own faith. But as a country, let's just get it right. We need to wipe these guys out because they are killing both Christians and also they are killing Muslims. But these killings must stop if we want to have a great country, Nigeria. And it's right time for the Supreme Muslim Council and the Christian Association of Nigeria to start talking to ensure that the killings of any Nigerians, be it a Christian or a Muslim, by any religious group, be it a radicalized Islamic group, must stop. And this time is right now for us to talk about it and stop this nonsense bedeviling our country. So we have Americans on our soil, sending precision missiles to the enemy's den. We never expected this. It's so disturbing. And the Nigerian Army, Nigerian Navy, Nigerian Air Force have the capability, but they've been so political about this. So the Americans are on ground, and I'm telling you that they will not be political about this. They will wipe these guys from our territorial space as soon as possible.
Now, there are speculations that the strikes were not necessarily on target, and I want us to talk about that because the Pentagon describes the airstrikes, and I quote, as perfect strikes. However, with reports of missile fragments found near civilian villages in Sokoto, what is the risk that this intervention becomes the primary recruitment tool for the very militants it aims to destroy?
The Tomahawk is not a friendly missile. It's a precision-driven missile. It's always, hit its targets wherever it's being sent to. Sometimes when you send out the Tomahawk, there are some fragments, that can, fall out from the Tomahawk in some given areas, some given locations. But the truth is that the Tomahawk went to its location and, got its target. I've seen a lot of people on Earth saying that it was a missed target. It can never be a missed target because that Tomahawk was designed, to travel for about 1,600 kilometers precision-wise and also hit its target precision-wise. So the targets were hit. Any other fragments you've seen around being posted on social media might be the fragment from the Tomahawk. But I tell you that the Tomahawk delivered its message precisely as directed some few days ago.
Now, we'll come back to the Tomahawk very quickly. Now, coming just days after the U.S. strike in Syria, is this a new Trump doctrine for Africa? Are we moving away from long-term stability building towards a transactional model of offshore missile diplomacy?
Well, for me, it's so sad that as a country, as we speak right now, Nigeria is the most discussed country in the world negatively. All over the media yesterday and the day before yesterday, all over the world. Nigeria has been discussed. Why are we being discussed? Because we've gambled with the spirit of insecurity so badly, and that is why the global space are not happy with what is happening. Some are for, and some are against the decision of Trump. And those that are for his decision, they are happy. Those that are against the decision, they are not happy. It is what it is, because whatever the case may be, if you stand on any given side, you must face some backlash, either from the positive or negative side. But as we rightly talk about, as it's going right now, I think our presence in Nigeria right now, the presence of U.S. forces in Nigeria right now is going to, signal a form of, global threats. A lot of criminal activities, the ISIS, the terrorist network want to start migrating to Nigeria to defend their own borders and also ensure that they fight the Americans, because wherever the Americans are, fighters want to go there to engage there because they see an America as the #1 enemy of the world. So I think this is diplomatic issues, and we must handle it very sensitively. And the Nigerian military needs to have effective coordination with the United States Force and the United States African Command here in our territory to ensure that this mission must be concluded quickly and also have the Americans depart our territorial space so that we don't have visitors coming from all over the world to come and defend their brothers in the area of terrorism perspective.
Now, Dixon, lastly, security experts argue that the Lakurawa filled a vacuum left by the near absence of state security. Does a Tomahawk missile address that state failure, or does it merely treat the symptom while the wound continues to fester?
All right, fantastic. You see, one thing about the Tomahawk is this: when it comes to counterterrorism, there are 4 factors that are very important. That is very important: the link, the resource, demobilize, and radicalize this, demoralize these people. What the Tomahawk did yesterday, resourcing is very important when it comes to counter-terrorism. It's the aspect of taking out arms and ammunition for these guys, cutting off their logistic supply and ensuring that they don't have arms and ammunition to engage the Nigerian or government security forces. Then the link. What it does is to delink the fighters, cut off the link between the fighters and also cut a disarray between their command structure. So it's a very, very good one when you have an effective bombardment against these guys. What you do is that you disorganize them and you demobilize them and demoralize them. So as we speak right now, the Lakura groups in Sokoto State, they are being demoralized and destabilized because we must not give them time to regroup and start planning another attack against the Nigerian state. We must have what we call take hold and rebuild. Every territory that has been taken from these guys must be rebuilt by our Nigerian forces. What has been happening in Nigeria is conquer and abandon. We must stop that tactics. It's very wrong for us. When you conquer any territory, don't abandon such territory. Go for the territory, hold that territory, and rebuild that territory. So the Tomahawk is on ground, and I think it's going to do some great job in the area of the resourcing these criminal elements, delinking these criminal elements, demobilizing and demoralizing them from their given enclave. And I tell you, Nigeria will play the game.
Security consultant Dixon Osagi, thank you so much for your time.